Hi, and welcome to Daily English Podcast. Are you learning English? Great! Today we will learn English with a very interesting story. This story is about a historic and surprising event in New York City. A powerful story of courage, struggle, and hope. It follows a boy who travels from Kampala to New York, a young man who listens to people's pain, and a leader who rises to speak for thousands. This story will not only improve your English, it will inspire you to keep moving forward even when life feels difficult. Here is how today's lesson will work. First, you will hear the story using simple words and slow, natural English. Then, I will teach you important vocabulary from the story. I will explain each word in a clear and easy way. And finally, you will practice shadowing, repeating after me to improve your speaking. So sit back, relax, and listen carefully. Let the story guide your learning and your heart. Let's begin. On November 4, 2025, New York City experienced one of the most surprising election nights in its history. Residents went to the polls to choose their next mayor, and the results shocked many people across the city and the nation. The winner was Zohran Mamdani, a 34-year-old Democratic state assemblyman. Many people had never heard of him just a year before, yet he managed to defeat two very well-known and experienced politicians. One of his opponents was Andrew Cuomo, former governor of New York City. Cuomo had also served as mayor of New York City and was a political figure known across the United States. He even decided to run as an independent candidate after losing the Democratic primary. The other main opponent was Curtis Sliwa, the Republican candidate, famous for founding the Guardian Angels, a volunteer organization dedicated to public safety. When the votes were counted, Mamdani received 50.4%, Cuomo got 41.3%, and Sliwa had 7.5%. By 9:34 p.m., with about 69% of ballots counted, it was clear that Mamdani had won. This election was not just surprising, it broke records. Over 2 million New Yorkers cast their votes, the highest turnout in more than 50 years. Many people voted early, many others mailed their ballots, and the number of voters on Election Day alone was over 1 million, with an additional 732,000 early votes. This level of participation showed that people were very interested in this mayoral race. Mamdani's victory was historic in many ways. When he took office on January 1, 2026, he would become New York City's first Muslim mayor. He would also be the first mayor of South Asian descent, representing a new generation of leaders. At 34 years old, he became the first millennial to lead America's largest city. His wife, Rama Dwaji, who is 28, would also make history as the city's first lady from Generation Z. As mayor, Mamdani would be responsible for 8.5 million residents, a workforce of 300,000 city employees, and a budget of approximately $115 billion. The challenges were enormous, but Mamdani's story had already inspired many people.
Mamdani's journey to the mayor's office was not easy. When he first announced his candidacy in October 2024, most New Yorkers didn't know him. He was an assemblyman from Queens, a borough of New York City, but he lacked citywide recognition. Most people expected Andrew Cuomo to win easily. Cuomo came from a prominent political family and had experience as both governor and mayor. His father, Mario Cuomo, had also served as governor of New York. But in a surprising twist, Mamdani defeated Cuomo in the Democratic primary on June 24, 2025. Mamdani received over 56% of the votes, while Cuomo got around 43%. People were shocked. After losing the primary, Cuomo refused to leave the race. He created a new party called the Fight and Deliver Party and ran as an independent. The incumbent mayor, Eric Adams, had also intended to run again, but dropped out due to federal investigations and lack of funding. This left the race primarily between Mamdani, Cuomo, and Sliwa. Mamdani's victories showed that even someone unknown could defeat political giants with the right vision and support. Mamdani campaigned on ideas that resonated with ordinary New Yorkers. He focused on affordability. The rising cost of living in the city had become a serious problem. One of his main proposals was free public transportation. No more fares for buses or subways. This would help millions of people save money every day. He also promised to freeze rent increases for about 1 million apartments with stable rents. Renters were struggling with quickly rising prices, and this proposal spoke directly to their concerns. Mamdani's plans also addressed food costs. He proposed opening 5 city-owned grocery stores, one in each borough, to provide affordable and healthy food. In terms of housing, he pledged to build 200,000 affordable homes, providing opportunities for families who struggled to find places to live in the expensive city. He also proposed changes to public safety, emphasizing community-based approaches over traditional policing. His political philosophy aligned with democratic socialism, which he embraced openly. Mamdani had been a member of the Democratic Socialists of America since 2017. His plans were tailored to New York City, aiming to reduce the wealth gap and empower workers. He also proposed raising the minimum wage to $30 by 2030, funded by higher taxes on large companies and individuals earning more than $1 million per year. His ideas received support from progressive politicians, including Senator Bernie Sanders and Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, highlighting the influence of his movement in American politics. A viral video called Halalflation, where he discussed rising food prices with street vendors, helped him connect with the public and show that he cared about everyday problems. During the campaign, President Donald Trump became actively involved in New York City politics. Trump publicly supported Cuomo and warned that federal funds might be withheld if Mamdani won. Federal money is essential for city programs supporting education, social services, and childcare, totaling roughly $9.7 billion, about 8.3% of the city's budget. Trump labeled Mamdani a communist and warned the public that his policies could harm the city. Mamdani responded calmly, saying the threats lacked legal basis and that he would continue working for the people of New York City. Legal experts noted that cutting federal funding for political reasons would be unconstitutional, but administrative pressure could still create challenges. This interaction highlighted how federal politics can directly influence city governance, especially when new leaders propose bold ideas. One of the most important factors in Mamdani's victory was the youth vote. Voters aged 18 to 34 strongly supported him. Surveys showed 64% of young people intended to vote for Mamdani. Early voting among 18 to 49-year-olds reached 186,000 compared to 148,000 for those over 50. Young voters were not just voting, they were actively campaigning, registering new voters, and spreading Mamdani's message. From January to June 2025, 17,000 people registered daily, a five-fold increase from 2021, with 67% under 29. Older voters preferred Cuomo, reflecting a generational gap in political views. Younger voters were more open to Mamdani's ideas on socialism, public safety, and economic reforms. Mamdani's election also divided the Jewish community in New York City. The controversy centered on his past support for Palestinian rights and criticisms of Israeli government policies. While some Jewish leaders opposed him, over 1,000 rabbis signed a letter warning against his leadership. Others, like City Controller Brad Lander, endorsed him. Polls showed 43% of all Jewish voters supported him, but support among younger Jewish voters under 44 was 67%. This reflected changing attitudes toward Israel and politics in the younger generation. Trump also weighed in, using strong language on social media, calling Mamdani a Jew hater. These events highlighted the complex dynamics in New York City's diverse communities.
Several reasons explain Mamdani's victory. High cost of living. Many families struggled with rising rents, which had increased by 27% in just a few years. Fresh ideas. Promises like free public transport and rent freezes felt immediate and practical. Diverse population. His South Asian and Muslim background helped him connect with growing communities. Strong grassroots support. Volunteers from the Democratic Socialists of America campaigned tirelessly, compensating for his lack of money compared to opponents. Cuomo's weaknesses. Past controversies and running as an independent after losing the primary made Cuomo less appealing. Mamdani represented a new generation and a fresh approach to the city's problems, making him the right choice for many voters. Mamdani's victory raised questions about how New York City would manage its budget and services. Free transportation, city-run grocery stores, and rent freezes required billions of dollars. Experts warned that the city could face budget gaps exceeding $10 billion by 2027. Raising taxes on wealthy individuals and corporations could make them leave, reducing revenue. Mamdani would also have to navigate federal challenges from Trump, who threatened to withhold essential funds.
Despite these challenges, Mamdani promised to fight for his plans and the people of New York City. His election showed that new ideas can gain support, even in large, complex cities. Mamdani's victory has broader implications. He is the first openly socialist mayor of a major American city, showing that many voters, especially the youth, are seeking new solutions to economic challenges. His victory could inspire similar political changes in other cities across the United States. People are asking, how will New York City manage its budget? How will political disagreements with the federal government affect governance? How will Mamdani implement his ambitious plans? These questions make his first year as mayor one of the most closely watched in American politics. Zohran Mamdani's election was historic, surprising, and full of lessons. It showed the power of young voters, new ideas, and grassroots movements. It also highlighted the challenges of running a city as large and diverse as New York City. Whether you agree with his policies or not, his story demonstrates that change is possible, even against powerful opponents. It is a story about ambition, courage, and the desire to create a better life for ordinary people.
Okay, it's Alex here again from Daily English Podcast. Now it's time to learn some important words from today's story. Listen carefully. I'll explain each word, give you an example, and then you can shadow. Repeat after me. Ready? Let's begin. Historic. Very important in history. Upset. A surprising result, often unexpected. Affordable. Not too expensive. Metropolis. A very large city. Grassroots. Ordinary people working to create change. Here are some phrasal verbs you can practice. Break records. To achieve more than ever before. Drop out. To stop participating. Look into. To investigate or examine. Carry out. To perform or complete a plan. Come across. To be perceived in a certain way. And finally, some example sentences you can shadow. New York City experienced a truly surprising election night. Mamdani promised to freeze rent increases for 1 million apartments. Young voters were very active in registering and campaigning for him. He built strong support in Queens, a diverse part of the city. This election showed that change is possible, even against powerful opponents. Great work today. You listened to the story, learned useful vocabulary, and practiced shadowing with me. Remember, learning English through stories helps you connect with the language, not just memorize it. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the Daily English Podcast. I'm Alex, and I'll be back next time with another powerful story designed to help you learn English with emotion, imagination, and real practice. Thank you for listening, and always remember, keep learning, keep improving, and keep speaking English every single day. Bye for now.